It's a really important day for all of us who take our livelihoods directly from Gatwick, or particularly for those businesses across the region who rely on us so heavily, because what we're putting forward today are our plans that should secure the future growth of Gatwick for future generations.
And it's been 2 years since you started the consultation. What's happened in that 2 years, and has there been much you had to change from the original plans?
Well, during the course of the consultation period, we initially went out publicly and consulted in 2020. It became clear to us that we actually needed to further refine our plans to improve the road network, particularly at the airport. And that led us to do a further consultation in 2021, which really focused in on those refinements. That's obviously complete. That's enabled us now to complete our documents for the development consent order to go forward to the Planning Inspectorate, and it's really that portfolio of documents that today we've sent across to the Planning Inspectorate.
And what happens now? What's the timeline for the Inspectorate?
So the Planning Inspectorate has about a month to take an initial review of the documents that we've put in. Presuming that that's successful, which we think it will be, then the Planning Inspectorate will publish those documents online, so everybody will be able to see those documents at that stage. And then we're really in the hands of the Planning Inspectorate at that stage. What we anticipate is that there'll be an examination period. It'll last for about 6 months. It'll either start towards the end of this year or perhaps right at the beginning of next year. And at the end of the 6-month examination, which is a fixed term, there's 3 months for the Planning Inspectorate to come to a decision, to make a recommendation that then goes across to the Secretary of State, and then the Secretary of State has 3 months to make the final decision. So we're expecting towards the end of next year to have the final decision.
And are you confident that what you have put forward will get approved?
Well, I've had teams working on this now since 2017. We publicly consulted in 2020 and 2021. They're very professional teams, and we're confident that the plans that we put forward describe very well the economic benefits, about £1 billion of economic value add to the regional economy, the creation of jobs, about 14,000 jobs created as a result of this scheme, 3,000 of those on the airport. But it also sets out what the environmental impacts are, but more importantly what our mitigations are against those impacts. So I think because of that we're confident that we've done as good a job as we possibly could have done, and that the scheme should be accepted.
Yeah, you mentioned the environmental impacts. You have the local campaign groups who say they're going to continue to fight this. What do you say to them? Because they are saying there's no realistic mitigation against the environmental impact.
So we operate and put forward our proposals as the developer at the airport so that they're in line with the government policy. So we fundamentally believe that the proposals that we're taking forwards are in line with government policy, and therefore, so long as we've made the correct assessments and mitigations, we should be successful. Of course, the campaign groups are an important voice. We've listened to them carefully. We're confident, for example, on air quality, that none of our proposals will breach any of the legal limits on air quality. We're confident that we'll be water neutral on our developments with the work that we'll do at the airport to reduce usage of potable water. And from a noise perspective, that's why we've said in the future the airport will be no noisier than it was in 2019, because the aircraft will get quieter.
Excellent. Thank you, Stewart.
Very much. Very good.
Okay.